In his presidential campaign, President Donald Trump and former President Donald Trump emphasized improving the economy if elected. Since his win, the new president-elect has a chance to implement an economic vision. Washington Post business reporter Julian Mark will join us now to dive deeper into Trump's plan regarding tax cuts, tariffs, and deregulation. Julian, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
For sure. Now, first question, while Tesla may benefit due to Musk's alignment with Trump, what could the broader impact be on other EV manufacturers, particularly as the U.S. attempts to meet those climate goals?
Well, I think that we will see Trump probably back out of climate goals or anything that might help, you know, anything in accordance with the Paris Climate Accord. And he has previously railed against EVs, and so we may see just a transition away from that.
For sure. And on those tax cuts, could Trump's proposed tax cuts, if limited to domestic manufacturers, create some unintended consequences for other industries?
Well, I think, what a big concern is, that it's going to just add, cut into, federal revenue and, create a larger, sort of widen the federal deficit. And that's, I think that's one of the primary concerns.
For sure. And Julian, what other sectors might push for those similar cuts, and how might that affect overall tax revenue?
My reporting didn't really touch on that, but I guess I will say that companies that do stand to benefit, are oil and gas, which Trump has previously said, which Trump has promised to give licenses for drilling, and he also talked about deregulating the crypto industry, in which he has he and his sons have an interest. So I think we're just going to see a lot of where I think we're going to see a lot of more business-friendly moves through deregulation and, as you said, those tax cuts.
And last question real quick, could you expand on the potential environmental and economic impacts of reversing the Biden administration's regulations?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're continuing to, shoot past, temperatures are continuing to rise. So anything that, any sort of pullback, any sort of retreat from climate efforts, from transitioning away from clean energy, will continue to, contribute to, the warming crisis.
All right, thanks so much, Julian. If you're interested in learning more about this, you can find his article on the Washington Post. Thank you.